Hey guys, thank you for clicking on the video, and a little bit different style this week. And last week my wife was absolutely begging me to get out of town, so we booked a cabin in Hot Springs, North Carolina and retreated for the weekend. It's very small.
You're videoing me, videoing.
By the time we got there, it was time for Lily to eat, and sometimes she can be a little fussy when she's eating, so you've got to entertain her. The messy stuff we like to feed her personally, and then put anything that she can grab on the table. She was out like a light after that, and then we have dinner on the menu, trying to stay on my calories. Got this cool toy that I saw off of Shark Tank, and man, I truly felt like a Jedi master with this bad boy. Mornings are my favorite start to the day, and today I read in John chapter 5, where Jesus is persecuted for doing work on the Sabbath and declares his equality with God. So if you don't think that Jesus is God, read John chapter 5. Did a little workout after my coffee that I did not film, but I ate some eggs and just hung out some, enjoyed the relaxed morning. We have made it to Max's Patch. So along the way to Max's Patch, it was about 30 minutes from the cabin, we came across several road closure signs from all the flooding from about a year ago in the area from Hurricane Helene. Me, being stubborn, said, "Oh no, that's fine. Let's just keep going ahead. Surely it's not closed. It's been long enough for the maintenance to be complete." And boy, was I wrong, because we finally got to the end of the road and we were just a few minutes from the patch when we had to turn back around and take a completely different detour, which ultimately cost us probably 40 minutes of driving. The wife wasn't exactly thrilled, and I think we learned a spiritual lesson with that. Sometimes when God is leading us somewhere, it's very important to pay attention to the signs that he places in our life. It might take longer for us to get there if we don't heed his voice and his instruction. Rushing to get there won't change things, but going the correct route, that's what's most important. It reminds me of Genesis chapter 15, when God speaks to Abraham, or Abram at that time, and says, "Look at the sky and count the stars, if you're able to count them." Then he said to him, "Your offspring will be that numerous." Abram believed the Lord, and he credited to him as righteous. Now at this point, Abram didn't have any kids, and he makes the decision to rush things along with his wife. And rather than to have a baby organically with her, he chooses to sleep with Hagar, their slave, and take matters into their own hands. And this baby was named Ishmael, whom lots of turmoil comes about because of him. But God ultimately shows grace on Abraham and his wife, and they have a child named Isaac to fulfill the covenant. This story applies to our own lives, just like when we were driving and went around all of the detour signs and road closure until we couldn't at the very end, to not take matters into our own hands and to trust the signals and the signs that God provides for us. The cabin had a sweet gas grill, which ironically I'd never used before. I didn't burn anything down, so that was a big win, and was able to grill some burgers. I'm not sure where Lily learned this, but she has a knack lately of sticking her finger up my nose and then into my mouth. After the booger patties, we just relaxed on the porch where it rained. To wrap things up, we had some veggies, pork loin, and then my typical Greek yogurt dessert. We had a good night in the cabin. Lily slept surprisingly all night with no interruptions, and later my wife informed me that she did not lock the back door, so we could have been murdered. I was able to drink some coffee and read my Bible before Lily woke up, then was able to do some high rep band work. A lot of people here in the community like working out with the resistance bands. I've even given some of them out as giveaways, and they are super good. You can travel with them. They're very light and lots of good resistance, can last a while. Yeah, I don't think you're going to build an amazing physique with them. There's not many drawbacks though. I just think that they're good for longevity, availability, and travel in general. And if you don't have any, I would suggest you add them to your arsenal. They are a worthwhile investment. And then you have Lily here who's playing with the camera and is about to topple it over in 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you. My tip to you if you are traveling is not to take your travel days as rest days. Yeah, you can do maybe 1 or 2, but get the blood flowing somehow, whether that's calisthenics or doing resistance bands, pull-ups outside, ring work. That's a great alternative and really easy to transport, but don't feel like you just have to completely be a slob or overeat. Because if you do overeat or just completely go over the deep end, you're going to resent your family or whomever does that. So just make a pre-commitment to whatever you're going to do and find that balance of exercise and eating right with the more whimsical and adventurous things in life. With all that being said, this is just a glimpse into a spontaneous weekend that my wife wanted to take, and we are far from perfect. We are not that TikTok, YouTube, Instagram influencer couple that just acts like they're just so happy all the time. They're still fighting and crying and bad comments. We're not perfect, and that's okay. And then to end the weekend here, we watched one of our old pastors, Pastor Bobby out of Knoxville, preach, and that was the end. Thanks for watching.